Hi Taurus, this is Isel. I'm really sorry it's taken me so long to get to you, and I basically missed the first half of November for you. I've been super busy and a lot going on in my life, and I had to tend to a lot of things, so I'm sorry. I apologize for sure. But I'm here now, and let's go ahead and do your reading, because that's always important. No flame. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. All right, give me an overall energy for sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, love and relationship reading, November 2018, last half of November 2018, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the sign of Taurus. Felt that that was going to come out. Here you are, Taurus, the King of Pentacles, with the Magician at the bottom of the deck. That's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn stable. Whatever, you could be involved with another earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You could be involved with an Aries. But basically, the way that this is looking, as these are together, it's like this King of Pentacles is staring directly at the Magician. So if you're trying to begin something in your life, if you're manifesting something new, it doesn't have to be with somebody. It could just be a transitional period away from a certain situation into something new. I know that Taurus has been having a lot of, it's like lifting of, well, lifting of the veil. I mean, there's a lot of energy where Taurus has been kind of hard pressed to open themselves, to shed energies, to make themselves available for things that are new coming in, especially with all these transits and with all of the astrological, planetary movements that have been happening. I'm not an astrologer, but I know that there's been a lot of shifting going on right now. So Taurus has been affected in a certain way just because it kind of challenged you guys to come out, accept things, open things up, relieve yourselves of certain situations. Sometimes we like to hold on to stuff, and in certain situations that's not feasible anymore. That's not something that we need to do, or it's not even, you can't even maintain that. So release is important. So before I go on any further, that's what I wanted to say. Give me love and relationship energy for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, love and relationship energies for November 2018. Nice, Taurus. The Lovers, first card popping out. What else is there? The Tower. Awesome. So it's like with this King of Pentacles with you, it's, it's like your mind is most definitely on beginning something new, but it's the reality that things need to be shed, things need to be broken down. At the bottom of the deck, in regard to the Tower, you have the Three of Wands. It's like there comes a certain point where we have to look at what we're experiencing in our life, and we have to recognize, is this what suits me? Is this for me? Is this something that is that I can work long term? If this is not something that I'm going to be engaged in for forever. And I know Taurus, there's nothing is forever, but a lot of Taurians, you guys are very steadfast in a lot of ways. You put your effort and energy into things, and you don't really get involved in things that are not worth your while, not worth your energy. So in regard to this energy between lovers, it's like something had to come down for something else to happen. So let's figure some things out. A little bit more for Taurus. You have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So whatever this is, it's like an alleviation of frustration, but you also have a decrease in mental worry. This is basically getting in your head stuck. This is a standstill, essentially, because we feed ourselves stories, we stop ourselves You know, this is procrastination. This is basically giving up on wants, desires, dreams sometimes, you know, because we're afraid to move forward in regard to what it is that we truly want, you know. But in the long run, it's really to our detriment. Here, we're releasing it. In reverse, too, this could also talk about lies. You fit it into your situation as you will. Yeah, I think whatever this is, it's like it had to break down, and you're more so at ease in regard to that. Show me more here for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So the Three of Cups with Judgment at the bottom of the deck. So in regard to a situation with people, if you were in a situation with a third party, you know, that may be coming down at this point. You may be letting that go because you realize that that's not something that you want. I'm getting a message you're like, so for some of you, what it is like letting go of it's like betrayal within a third-party situation. Somebody brought a third-party situation into your experience with this partner, and it's like you're evaluating, do I let this go, or can this be let go of, and can we move forward? That's what I'm feeling in regard to that. That's for certain people. Overall, though, I'm feeling like you need to release this energy. And, you know, some of you are going to need to remove yourself entirely from a relationship, because the thing is, it's like, it doesn't bring you anything. It brings you more, it's like worry, constraint. You're constantly worried about, like, if you can trust a person, you know, to move forward with them, to do anything with them. It's like something about the foundation isn't, it's not steady. It's not something that is, it was, some of you feel that this was not important to your partner. It's like they didn't value, I guess, your level of like commitment, stability, what you were bringing to the table, or maybe they didn't even recognize it, but it's like you recognize where you were offering and what you were offering, and they weren't. So you have to let it go. All right. Show me more for Taurus, please. If this was involving a fire sign, the Queen of Wands, she's in reverse, whomever this is, it's a very ugly energy. Basically, this person is frustrated. They're kind of a ball buster. They fight for the sake of fighting. They use their words very cutting. They're very harsh and painful. If that's who you've been dealing with, there's a reason why you're leaving, you know. The energy of trust is kind of gone here. Show me more about the Queen of Wands. Yeah, you're walking away from that energy, Taurus. And again, the Three of Wands is showing up at the bottom of the deck. So in regard to what it is that you are wanting to manifest, under the Magician, you have the World, okay? So in regard to that, it's basically, you could be manifesting travel. You could be moving to a job that's going to be, you know, not everybody is going to be just jumping into a relationship. Some people are going to be exiting relationships and taking time for themselves, because that's a necessary key to get yourself back on track. But also it's a necessary key if you're feeling that something is better for you, and this has caused a lot of fighting, frustration, you know, with a partner. You want to let it go, because at this point things are just fighting and it's not good. It's not emotionally sound, Taurus. That needs to go away. Okay, so falling out here altogether, you have the Two of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. So in regard to this, if you are traveling, if you're relieving yourself of a situation and like getting away from something, if this is for the people that are traveling, you need to take a break in regard to what it is that you're getting involved in. There's some of you that may be entering into love relationships once you relieve yourself of the situation, but this takes time. This takes healing. This also takes you getting away from the entirety of the situation. When you break ties with situations, you allow new things to happen. You allow new growth to happen. With the Eight of Wands and the World, it's like we're actively choosing to move forward into endeavors. We are, again, travel. It could be world travel. It could be traveling to a different state, different city, you know. I'm picking up also job is also very important here for some of you. Love is definitely on the table, but job is something stabilizing for you. And I think it's important to be able to, immerse yourself in an energy of work so that you can better satisfy and feel, so that you can better heal and feel satisfied. That's what I want to say. For some of you, this is going to, with that Queen of Wands in reverse, this is going to be taking a break from that person. You may be recognizing that there is definite love there, but the fighting, the frustration, the anger, that needs to stop. That needs to be quelled. If you take a break in regard to that situation, it may be better when you do pick up communication again with that person to have it in written form, to have it communicated in written form or via email. I wouldn't suggest text messages. I would say phone calls, emails, you know, like written form conversations. Sometimes having separation between people is a form of healing a relationship. That is where you can like solidify your own feelings, your own energy in the situation, what you want to bring towards things. You know, some of you are just going to be leaving a situation and moving on your own, which is going to be helpful, you know, because eventually you will find a romantic situation that better suits you, but it happens once you're able to actually stabilize the energy that you need in your life, you know. I think a lot of people get very confused because they just want love. You know, love's going to solve everything. Love's going to make all my problems go away. No, you need to address your problems, deal with your problems, so you're not bringing your problems into any further love relationships. Because when you do that, you're bringing in garbage, you're bringing in baggage, you know, not garbage necessarily, but a lot of baggage. When you're bringing in that kind of baggage, it's like oftentimes you're hoping that somebody else is going to fix you. They're going to solve your problems. Being with somebody new is just going to make it all go away and get better. It doesn't, because you have to deal with you. Should be more for Taurus. So the Three of Swords in reverse, with the Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So in regard to that fire sign, it was a queen. It doesn't have to be a female, but the fire sign is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It's letting go of pain. It's letting go of heartbreak. Sometimes this is, you know, this is cutting words. This is basically mental manipulation, mind games, harsh energies. You know, when people don't take us into consideration, they kind of run all over us. Kind of what I was talking about with like that ball busting energy, somebody who's very harsh with their words, their actions, how they choose to treat you and work with you. It's like they don't work with you. They're in it for what they can get out of it, but when it comes down to you, you don't really matter, which is terrible to be involved in, but it's like you're leaving that, you're going away from that. You have the Tower, you have the Eight of Cups, you're leaving it, you're moving away from that type of energy. It's like you recognize what it is, and by putting distance between you and that person, you're able to better suit yourself. Okay, give me more on this Three of Swords and the Five of Swords. It's the Death card. So it could be involving a Scorpio. It doesn't have to be, but basically what it's feeling like is this is something that's been long-standing. It's something that you've been back and forth in regard to the situation with this person. Getting out of it has been harsh. Getting out of it has been like yin-yang, like back and forth. Like you take a few steps to get away from it, and then it's like you're reeled back in. You have to move away from that. You have to to get away from that. Some of you, that's going to literally mean traveling away from it. Some of you, you're going to have to break away from it so you can actually start a new beginning, start a new job. Some of you, you're going to be looking for work in other places. It's almost like starting from fresh, starting from new, because that's going to give you a new lease on self, a new lease on life, yes, but a new lease on self. It's going to help you recognize different aspects of yourself. And when you're able to remove yourself from certain situations, it's going to bring up certain things that you didn't experience about yourself, with yourself, for yourself when you were in that situation, because you were tending to too many things. And unfortunately, you're going to recognize that it kept you away from being in yourself, because it kept you in yourself. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It's like you were so, oh God, how do I say that? It's like when we are so enwrapped in a situation, but also it's like we negate ourselves due to being enwrapped in a situation, ensnared and wrapped, engulfed. Yeah, it doesn't feel good, but you know, it's like you recognize what this is, you're releasing it, you're letting the swords fall out. You know, it's been a long time in the coming, but you have to turn this upright. We're in reverse right now. This is hard to move away from energy. Now we need to just release it and let it die for what it is. You know, see it for what it is, let it die, let it go. Show me more for Taurus. In regard to that, we have the 8 of Wands, but it popped out in reverse right there. You just saw it fly out in reverse. And the 9 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Some of you, in regard to this person that you're leaving, you're letting go of, you know, it's like some of you may find that it's important to block them. Some of you may find that communication with them at this point is incredibly harsh. For those that are still going to maintain communication and try and get back with that person or try to maintain that relationship later on, at this point, communication may be at a standstill. Somebody may be blocked. Somebody may be taking a break in regard to being single. For those of you that are completely cutting that situation out, which I feel is the higher majority of you, it may be important to block this person out of your life, or they may have blocked you out of their life. Either way, communication may be at a standstill with this person, or just not wanting, you may not want to have communication or connection with this person. People may be ignoring messages, you know, stuff of that nature. But either way, where it leads is this 9 of Pentacles. I was just talking about singlehood, but it's a healthy type of singlehood. Look, you've got the 7 of Swords underneath there. So this is basically somebody who's choosing to be single because they're tired of dealing with people's bullshit. And this is some pretty heavy shit. I'm not sure what that person did to you. It could be a third-party situation where they've involved you in some situation that was messed up. Or, you know, just heavy manipulation, mind games, lying, deception, a lot of things that could be possibilities with that. But in regard to this 9 of Pentacles, this is basically being single, but out of choice, out of personal choice, because you find that it's actually better. It's fruitful. It's something that you can endure because you want to. Like, you know, the 9 of Pentacles talks about being satisfied in a way. It talks about being happier on our own, because what it does is it allows us to build up our own resources. It allows us to tap within ourselves, tap into ourselves, and trust who we are. You know, I can guide myself. I move myself in the direction that I need to go into. You know, I don't have to be incorporated with anybody for me to take care of me. When you're in that type of mind state, when you're in that type of frame of being, you draw in energies that are of like vibration, and that's when good relationships happen, when you're feeling satisfied within yourself, when you're comfortable within your life, where you're at financially, emotionally, where you're feeling good about who you are. You know, that's a very, very healthy energy to be in. A lot of people see this and they're like, no, I don't want to be single. Why not? Like, there's nothing wrong with being single. I've been single for years at a time. Like, it's kind of nice, you know? And then when you actually do get into a relationship, it's really nice because it's like, oh, well, that just happened. But I was feeling good about who I was and where I was in my life. And this is just a really wonderful addition into my life now, you know? It's kind of feeling like that versus like, oh, I need to have a relationship to be whole. Oh, don't do that. Show me more for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, love and relationship readings. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, love and relationship reading. So you have the Emperor and you have the Four of Cups. So in regard to this, it's like that fire sign, the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is the sign of Aries. It's a fire sign as well, though, for sure, but it's Aries. If it's in regard to that person, it's almost like we're just letting it go. We're not taking any offers. We're not making any offers. We're not taking any offers. We're not really moving forward with that person. You know, they could have been kind of very difficult energy to deal with. The Emperor is a good person. I mean, upright, he's great. In reverse, total dick. But in regard to that, he's the father figure. He's somebody who is stable in one's life. He's financially stable. He's pretty emotionally stable, I mean, for the most part. He doesn't deal a ton with emotion, but he can be a little bit cold. But it's like he's cold because he's tending to different things in life that are going to be more so stabilizing for everybody who's involved with. It's like he wants to care for everybody. He wants to, you know, take care of everything, but also in a way, he's emperor. He rules, like he's a ruler. So you have to take that energy into consideration. Like he rules things. So his word is word. Like sometimes that's harsh energy to be around. Give me a card for the Emperor. Well, you have Judgment popping out. Give me one more card for the Emperor. Yeah, I mean, Judgment and the Four of Cups. It's like, do I make an offer? Do I take this offer? Do I, you know, is there anything on the table with this person? I don't want to take it. Show me more for the Emperor. What is the energy of the Emperor, please? Show me the Emperor. The Emperor. So Temperance in reverse. This person is out of balance. They keep you out of balance. You know, sometimes this person may be somebody who has a drinking problem. They may have a drug addiction problem. They have a chemical dependency issue. It doesn't have to be that, but basically being with this person, it feels like you're emotionally out of balance. It's a very difficult energy to be in, especially if you're with somebody who is more so apt to be in reverse. That's somebody who's harsher. It's harder to be around that type of energy just because it's like my way or the highway. That doesn't leave you very much option in regard to a relationship. When it's one person's way, what's the point? That's not a relationship. That's a dictatorship, you know? So if you're moving on from that kind of energy, good for you. Show me outcome for Taurus, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, outcome. Okay, I feel better about that. Okay. So, in regard to this, it's like, here you are again. You have the King and Queen of Pentacles now, but I feel that this is you stabilizing your energy. Whatever you're getting involved in is something that is going to be long-standing. It's something that stabilizes you on a financial level. You're emotionally satisfied in what you endeavor in. That's where it's like it's being taken care of on all fronts, but you're the one that does it. You know, you're the one that sets that up. It's like you're the one that makes sure that this happens for you because you know that it's helpful for you. It's healthy for you. Defenses are definitely up in regard to this person, and it may have been a longer standing situation with this person, but you know, in regard to that, like just because it is a long-standing situation doesn't mean you have to take it, especially if somebody's verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, if they, you know, are abusive on any level. Like, there's no reason for you to take that energy just because you've been in a long-standing situation with somebody. You know, if that's a husband energy where somebody was a shithead, no, don't do it. Show me the 10 of Pentacles here. Show me the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah. So it's wibbly wobbly both ways. I'm going to read it both ways. You have the Five of Swords. It came out kind of 50-50, more so reversed. In regard to the Ten of Pentacles, this may be somebody who's been, again, that manipulative energy, where it's like they do whatever they want whenever they want to, and they don't really take you into consideration. And what it's done is it's put a long-standing relationship in jeopardy. You know, it's caused something to fall apart. They can apologize if they choose to, but this is also just you releasing that energy. It's you choosing not to be defensive in regard to this person. If that literally requires you to move away from this person, so be it. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. When we take power, when we take our power back, we give ourselves the opportunity to have wonderful things in our life, you know. That Nine of Pentacles that comes before this card, you know. This is a card of legacy. It's a card of family. It's a card of building things together. It's a card of inheritance. But it's also a card of doing things where you're just financially solid. Like, this doesn't have to mean family. This can mean you build yourself up where you are financially solid, Taurus. And there's nothing wrong doing that here. You have the World as well. This is gigantic lessons learned, you know, humongous lessons learned in regard to what it is that we've experienced. It basically, those things are here to help us heal. They're here to help us understand ourselves and learn our worth and value, you know. But basically, like, when we pay attention to what it is that we've experienced, we have the capacity to use this King of Swords energy here and cut things out that are not necessary any longer. This is somebody who is less emotional and more so willing to be a little bit more practical and cold. They're analytical. They are somebody who is like, okay, I've dealt with some things for so long. I'm not going to let my emotions get stuck in this. I'm going to cut it out from me because I know that that's healthy. I've learned lessons in regard to this, and I'm cutting things out because I know that it doesn't serve me any longer. Emotionally, financially, I'm feeling stability-wise, but like on an emotional level, it doesn't feel like it's something that can be maintained any longer. Again, card of travel, okay? So sure, you could go on a vacation and see the world, whatever, but I feel that this is either moving for a job, resituating your life, changing energies, it's movement, you know. You could be going online and searching for different job situations. I'm feeling like there's going to be some sort of move, though. There's some sort of movement. Some of you may just be moving homes because you're not going to be involved with this person any longer. So yeah, Taurus, I'm going to shut it down here. I feel that that's the message. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you need to come to a situation in your life where it's like you're moving away from a situation that's painful, harsh, you know, long-standing, it needs to go. The key, there's so many keys. Here's one key. Don't hold on to something that is detrimental to you in regard to your emotion, your spirit, your light. Don't hold on to things that hurt you. It's very difficult sometimes for people. Doesn't matter, Taurus, Libra, Gemini, whatever. It's any human being. But try not to hold on to the things that hurt you, that physically hurt you, emotionally hurt you, you know. Because when we do that, we keep ourselves at that level. And it's difficult to stay at that level, you know. So relieve yourself, open yourself up to newness, and let new things in. All right, Taurus, I hope everything is well. I hope that reading was helpful. If you found it helpful, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you soon. I'm sorry for the delay. All right, take care. Bye-bye.